Good morning, adventurers, travelers, RVers, and friends. My name is Chris Capper, and we are in beautiful Frederick, Colorado at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. And today I have the pleasure of showing you this 2025 Winnebago Navion 24R. This is just a great coach to get you and your family where you want to go safely. This is on the 2-liter high output 4-cylinder Mercedes diesel engine. So this is on the 3500 chassis. It's going to have all of the accoutrements, all of the safety features, everything that you're looking for in a safe Mercedes Sprinter chassis, including blind spot monitoring. Real quick, before I get busy with all this, I just want to make sure I give you all of the links and everything like that. So the exterior length is about a foot longer than what we have on our Echo, which this is like the luxury version of an Echo. So it's 25 feet, 8 inches long. Exterior width is only 7 feet, 6.3 inches wide. And my height at the highest point where that AC is going to be 10 feet, 10 inches high. 24 gallons of fuel tank on this diesel, and we have a 35-gallon freshwater tank, 47-gallon black, and a 46-gallon gray. So another big difference between this and the Echo is we have a black tank. So if you don't really want to worry about that cassette toilet emptying and you're used to the black tank, this is the coach for you. Another big difference is that this has a slide out. So you're going to get a lot more interior space for only about 4 inches of travel size width extra. On this full body paint, this is going to be the precious metal full body paint. And so you'll notice that with this is a nice aerodynamic scalloped fiberglass piece right here, and that goes up to my one-piece molded fiberglass front end cap. There is no sleeping up there, so if you want to have the grandkids, you can order this with a front cab that they can sleep in. Now, one of the differences are this is going to be all-wheel drive, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. If you get the front cab over bunk, then that's going to go to the rear wheel drive solution. So a few other things. This has 5,000 pounds of towing capacity and 1,055 pounds of cargo carrying capacity. So you always got to consider the weight of the passengers inside. We can have 4 seat-belted passengers, so you need to subtract that. Plus a full tank would be 290.5 pounds. And if you add that in there, subtract it, doesn't quite have the same cargo carrying capacity that you can get on that Echo. This is mainly for people who aren't taking it out off trail and doing like all those adventuring stuff with it. But if you're a campsite camper, but you want all the conveniences of what that Echo gives you and that winter camping experience, so this has all of the insulated water service center with 12-volt heating on the tanks. It's going to be great on all that, but gives you a little bit more of a luxurious feeling. So we do have the Alcoa aluminum wheels on this, so you can see that right there. They look really sharp, very easy to clean. All-wheel anti-lock brake systems. We have a little running board right here with 2 security loops on each side of it. And coming back this way, I've got 2 easy steps to get into. So even if you're limited mobility, that's hardly much of a step. Now, this also differentiation from an Echo has a 4-point leveling system. So if that leveling system's up, that could bring that up a little bit more. But if you want to make sure your coach is leveled, for the adventurer types, they don't care quite as much about that. If it's just off a little bit, it's fine. This will get you really level as long as the slope warrants that. On the outside here, I've got a cable. So if we want to hook up a TV, I've got 2 110 outlets that'll be powered by the inverter. We'll talk about that shortly, and then cable. Now, here's going to be my Truma AquaGo system. You guys know how much I love this. It's got that full body paint, looks really sleek. Now, this isn't just the Truma AquaGo, it's a Truma AquaGo Comfort Plus. That includes a recirculating pump in there. What that means for you is that your hot water, when you have this on, your hot water is going to be recirculating in there, keeping everything warm, so you have less of that cold water shock when you first turn that on. What makes this better than a typical instant on hot water heater, this is a hybrid system. So with this, I've got a 3/4 liter tank right here. I have a microprocessor control center right here, and it's measuring the thermostats that are the water going into it, the water inside the hybrid tank, and the water coming out. This is a 4 settings on this. You have your eco mode, you have your normal mode, and you have your boost mode. So eco mode, if you're going to be out there and you just want to conserve that propane that this runs off of, you can run it in that. But if you're just a normal person, regular, but if you're me and I want that really hot shower and shave, then I might put it in boost mode, give me a little extra. Now that's 3. What's the 4th one? The 4th one is the cleaning mode. So it's very simple. You put your descaling tabs in there. Once this is off for a while and you know this is cool, you open this piece up, pop this out. This will drain that 3/4 liter tank right there. Put your descaling tabs in there, put it on, set it in the clean cycle. You'll be doing this once a year, but if you're using it a lot, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. It's a real simple process. It decreases your total cost of ownership because you don't have to pay a service tech to do that for you. This is all German engineered, very good system, best in class. It is the proper system for this coach. So let's pop this open. So you can see I've got my an extra inverter disconnect and a battery disconnect on the outside. I also have that on the inside. These are going to be roto molded storage cabinets. So if you ever have an issue with that, let's say some road debris punctures it, it's easy to repair. If you want to order a new one, Winnebago is one of the real manufacturers of RVs that are still in the market, and they can just spin up on their rotor molding machine. All they got to know is your coach info and they'll take care of that for you. So nice pneumatic struts on each one of these. Coming back here, you'll notice that this is my blind spot monitoring. I have that on both sides. So if you order a new one from me, that's probably going to have a slightly smaller blind spot monitoring system and a little bit upgraded cab interface. But this right here, it has got the same functionality to it. Just looks a little bit different. Right here's my LP Quick Connect. So if you want to do some grilling or smoking, or just set up a little fire pit out here, because like in Colorado, we got a lot of fire danger. California, man, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So if you're in a situation where you can't set up that campfire, but you want to be able to sit here with your partner and maybe your grandkids or just your buddies and drink a few brewskis while the sun's setting, talking about the stories of the Whitewater River you just went down or the mountains you just climbed, set up that fire pit right there, and you can actually run that in situations like that. So it's pretty cool. 35,000 BTU Suburban heater, furnace right there. Now, this is where this coach shines. So on this right here, I open this and I have a very easy to access garage storage area. I've got 3 different entrance points, and I have the L-track channel on all 4 corners, up and down. And so it goes all the way down here, and I've got 3 points here and 3 points here. Now, this is a heated storage bay. The measurements on this is, it's about 68 cubic feet of storage space on that. And here you can hook up solar, your cable, and then on both sides I'm gonna have my 110, my LED light, and my 12 volt. So if you've got 2 electric bikes in here, you can actually get more storage height and easier access than you do on the Echo. So you can plug those 2 e-bikes right into this 12 volt or 110, one on each side, so it's really easy. This is gonna be heated, so it's real nice. Now you might wonder, like, well, how do I get the extra solar panel connection or the cable or anything outside? Well, I've got this really easy opening right here, and then I can just crack that open and just have just enough, there's enough space right there to run a cable or your solar connect wire. Now, there's my 30 amp plug right here, but it's just a really nice, easy to access 3-door system that's easy to get in, get out. Now, if you're gonna look up here, we'll start at the top. So I've got 2 cameras. These are going to be high-def cameras. One is going to be looking off more in the distance to give you that total view of what you're going on, and the other one's going to be focused more down. So if you are hooking up down here, you'll notice I've got a 5,000 pound tow capacity on this right here, and then 500 pounds total. Now you always want to make sure that your keeping an idea on what the internal weight of your coach is, easy way of doing that: load everything up, go to a weigh station. I think it's like 12 or 14 bucks right down the street from here, so you can get that weight and just make sure that you're towing the appropriate amount, because we want to make sure that you and your family are safe. While you're towing, you got a 7-way plug right here, and these are built to put a brake controller, so they are pre-wired, so it doesn't cost quite as much if they're pre-wired to get that in there. So really nice system. Now if you're like me and you're not going to be towing your car, you can also, there's a lot of other accessories that you can put in this that'll allow you to bring an extra cooler or bring some extra stuff. I had somebody also ask me about closet space. I've seen people set up closet space in this garage storage bay too. So just want to answer some of the questions that I've heard. Now, another cool thing about this, if I can not only hook up my hose to fill up the tank, I can also open this. This is locked, so nobody can put something in there, but you can fill the potable water tank up from here with a big, like 5 gallons or 3 gallons if that's too heavy for you. You can fill it up right here, but normally you're just going to hook up your freshwater system right here, and then the black tank water flush is here. So what is that? This has a black tank. Inside that black tank's a sprinkler system, and that's going to spray any solid stuff in that black tank. It's going to spray it to kind of get that out and make it a cleaner environment for you, a little bit less smelly. I got my knife valves for my gray and my black tank right here, and then this is for city water connection, and if I want to fill that tank, I just pop that over there and it does it for me. I can turn this light on right here very simply. I can also turn my water pump on if I want to take an outdoor shower, and I have my hot and cold water right there. So nice system. It's all sealed really nicely. And then 30 amp connection. This is a smart connect right there, so if there is a problem, this won't be glowing white on the outside and green right here, it'll be flashing red, so to let you know, hey, the problem with your power is not in the coach, it is your source. So it just makes it nice and easy for you. And then here's going to be that propane tank. So this is a mounted propane tank that you can get, and with that propane tank, that is a 12-gallon propane tank. And then right here, this is pretty cool, 4,000 watt flex power generator. So this has got that upgraded generator on there instead of the smaller one. And there's your exhaust for that, keeps it away from your bedroom windows. Got my running board with my 2 security cables. When you're filling up your diesel, you don't want to smell that on the inside, so you just open that hatch right there and you can fill it right here. What's also good is that nobody can access your diesel tank when this door is shut and locked, as long as that's in the appropriate position. So it's a little easier to show you this here. I'll talk a little bit more about the cab amenities, but right here I have 3 memory seated positions. So you can set primary driver memory 1, secondary driver memory 2, and the memory 3 would be the position that makes these seats easiest to turn around. Nice heating element right here. And then I also recommend whoever's 1 on this side would be 1 on the next side, so you always know that's your number and that's what you want to go. My mirrors are all adjustable right here, and these will also break down, so you can actually put them close. So if you're putting them in storage or you want to put a cover on it, that does just break right into there. If you're interested to see what the inside of the engine looks like, I'll be happy to show you at some point. Most of you have seen it. I can do that separately, or you can look at one of my other videos, but it's a very easy to access all your systems, your windshield wiper system, your def fluid, all of that. Now, I don't want to forget all of my, these are dual pane windows, acrylic, and then right over here, glad I thought about it, I have this nice Carefree awning with a wind sensor on it. It's got the LEDs that are focused in here just to keep a little bit more of that rain or snow. Now, if you're going to get something like a heavier snow, bring it in. I made that mistake once, did a video on a Revel, and you just don't want to have too much snow on that because it makes it very difficult to get in without getting up on the roof, and that's not a good idea. By the way, that roof is going to be a fiberglass roof, so one-piece fiberglass roof. My 320 amp hour Lithionics battery is going to be right here. These are UL listed. It's the only one on the market that is, to my knowledge, made in the US in Clearwater, Florida. So can't wait to visit their plant in August. I'll be sharing some videos with you when I do that. So if you want to step on in, Jody, shut that door. I'm going to push this button to get that in AC1. And then once that's done, I guess I got to push it again. Sorry, guys. Turn that. There we go. So I know you can't hear this, but right now my awning is coming in. So because it knows that it's not a good position to drive down the road with your awning out. So this is like, if there's one biggest difference between this and an Echo, it's the slide, right? What this slide is enabling us to do is just get a lot more space in here, just to make for a more comfortable experience. The floor that you're looking at right now is a really cool flooring. And it's like a vinyl weave or nylon weave. This is not something that you can get stuff stuck in it. It is a lot better for your pet's paws on that. Gives them a little bit more grip if they're not in a crate and they're walking around while you're driving. Gives them a little bit more grip. It's actually pretty easy to clean and sweep, so it's a little intimidating to look at, but a lot of people love this. So I want to talk about one of the cool things about this, a Winnebago Connect. So what do I see when I have this on? OTA received, new software update available. So what that means is that this right here can actually get updates on your system over the air. It's a really cool system. There's over 100 monitoring alerts available on this. I can check out all my lights. I can turn my lights on. I can even change the brightness on all of them at once or bring them all back up. And I can do it that way or this way. So we'll keep that there. I can set 3 different light presets. So maybe I have my good morning light preset where I want everything super bright. Then maybe in the afternoon I want it a little bit less bright and certain lights off. And then the evening I might want to set that mood, bring those lights down a little bit, have some of the lights off, and you can set all these presets right here. So coming back to here, my water systems, I have all the access to what I need. I can put that in comfort or eco. I've got the water heater, I can turn that on or off. I can turn my macerator toilet on or off right here, water pump on and off, and also my tank heating pads. So very easy, and then right here from one glance I can see what my tank levels are. On my awning, very simple, I'm sure you've seen these before, but you can actually just turn that auto extend and auto retract, and then we can also set that light if we want to dim those lights a little bit or just turn that off completely. This is awesome. So pet minder, I can set my temperature for my pet, so if it gets over 80 in here, it's automatically going to turn that air conditioner on for me to keep my pets nice and healthy, right? And then if it gets too cold, 61 degrees. So unfortunately, my cat passed away last month it was. We got a new cat. So my new cat's name is Malibu, my dog Leela. They'd be happy in here. On the energy management system, if I'm plugged in, it's going to show me what my incoming source is. Generator, I can turn that on. I can see where my shore power is, up to 30 amps. In my solar, I have 240 watts of solar on there right now. I can see where my charging is, inverter status, etc., etc. And then I can also control my slide outs here. I can also control my connectivity. So if this is hooked up to my Wi-Fi, it would do that automatic update once I gave it permission to. Change my features on this right here. I can adjust all of that. And then I can also set my alerts. So all these alerts, you have over 100 alerts that you can have alerted. And what's really cool, guys, and I'm just going to step over here, is if you have this, let's say you have this in your garage, and you're flying down to Florida. So I'm going to go see my daughter in St. Pete, but let's say I had a winter storm hit. What would be cool is I can actually as long as I have the connectivity to this, I can change all of that stuff on there on my app. So this has an app that you can do over the air updates, so I can hit that heat up a little bit more, turn those tank pads on. Colorado, we are known to get snow in June on occasion, so if that were to happen, I could just go ahead and adjust that right from the living room of my daughter's new home. So it's a really cool feature. Winnebago has just set this next generation smart home. They've been an innovator since their beginnings in the 1950s, and a lot of people try to copy them. I don't know anyone that succeeds. And another thing that Winnebago does that's really amazing, if they find a problem on a coach, they issue a recall. So what that recall means is they've got to fix that. A lot of other brands will not do that. They might pre-approve for a service tech to do the service on that if the customer brings it in, and they're not even allowed to ask them about it. But once that warranty is gone, you might not get that done. So Winnebago just looks out for their customers. And then if you look at Transwest Truck Trailer RV, we have the service technicians here that are award-winning. We take care of you. We're highly trained. We're here to take care of you. So between Transwest and Winnebago, this is truly the best place to purchase one and get one serviced. So back to the bedroom. If you're familiar with the Echo, you're going to kind of notice a little bit of a similar setup right here. So I've got, this is actually reversed. So let's start with this right here. This is going to be my WinSleep Frolly system. Now, these beds are 32 by 76 inches on the twins, but it's a king convertible. So when this is actually in the spot it's supposed to be in, which is here, and then this right here has a hard base. Now here I've got two cup holders. I got like a card holder if you want to set your cards right there and you want to play some cards with your partner while you have some drinks here, you can do that. And when you want to go to sleep, obviously you've got the twins, which makes it easier to get down if you want to go to the bathroom at night. But let's say you're like me and you've been on that river, you've been kayaking or whitewater kayaking, or maybe mountain biking or whatever it is that you're doing, and you need a good massage. It's a little bit easier if you just pop this over, pop that down. And so now this gives me the capability of laying completely across. So with my boots on, I'm about 6'1", I got plenty of room to snuggle, to cuddle, to sleep this way, whatever I want. I could have, my wife could be here, I could be here, my dog and my cat could be here. So this is basically like king bed territory. Super, super comfortable. I think this is a little bit more comfortable than the Echo actually. Just, I know that's a subjective view, but we also have this nice, pull my pants down, nice little headrest right here. Now the storage capability is a lot different than the Echo. So in the Echo, I've got a little shelf right here, and I have where this opens up, and I have this opens up, and they're kind of spread out a little bit more. I still have my power centers. So and every time I say a power center, what I'm talking about is I've got a 12 volt, two 110s, and then I've got two USB-A's. Actually, yeah, a USB-C and a USB-A. So that's one of the changes that they made. So I've got a power center here and a power center there. I'll be pointing these power centers out in other areas of the coach, but that's what I'm referring to. These are easy to turn on and off for your reading lights. Now look at the amount of storage I have. I have this storage right here. We have the felt liners here, but then I have the corner storage too. And then check this out. I have more storage here and more storage here. So this is a difference between this and the Echo. You definitely get more storage right here. Now, we talked a little bit about those dual pane acrylic windows, right? So let's talk a little bit more about them. So if I were to open this up, these all seal in. I've got 4 points of sealing. This dual pane keeps that heat where it's supposed to be. I have multiple places that I could open that and keep that out. Now, if I want to just run my 12 volt fan over there, I've got two fans. Another difference with an Echo. I've got one in the toilet bathroom area, and I have one in the front. Both of these fans are covered already, so you can have them open during a rain or storm, or even while you're driving if you choose. I can shut these in this position, and you'll see I've got a little bit of extra room there. So what that's going to do is going to allow those fans to be super efficient and pull fresh air from the outside. While I'm doing that, just to keep those mosquitoes out, we can shut that screen right there. And then opening that back up, if I want to seal that, keep the weather out, that's all I do. Super quick, super simple. When it's time for bedtime, that just pops up, clips in, there you go. And then when they're connected, you can actually do them together. So really cool, efficient system. And we also have on that air conditioning on this, and I think this is the 15,000 BTU air conditioning. Not only can I angle these to where I want, so I'll have them all angled to me, I can also shut them. So that's going to take about 95%, 98% of that airflow will be out. Think about shutting the front car vents. You still get a little bit of airflow, but not much. And it's also cool, like if you notice as I'm shutting this, that light does come in there. So you can, if you just have those lights on, you can still see what you're doing. And I don't want to forget to point out, I do have an Insignia Smart TV right there. And then under both of these, I have a nice drawer, so I can put all my personal effects in there. 2 removable mats, so you can take those out and clean them if you want. And then I have a little shirt closet under each one. Let me open this one so I can give you a little bit more light there, Jody. So these do pop up, so that way you can get into them a little bit easier. So, and then you got the heat will be coming down here as well. So there we go, that's our bedroom. Now, what's cool about this particular coach is that this has got a 3-room setup. So what I can do is I can open the bathroom right here and have that right here, and so that's going to give me some privacy back here, but still allow airflow over here. Plus these are all fully ducted vents. So, and then I can also open this right here and do the same thing. What's neat is I can actually have both of those open at the same time, so I have a full bathroom that's a full width of the coach. So let's start on this side first. Let me shut this door. We talked about the rain vent right here with the cover on it, so that's where that is right there. And you can see it's got a cover, not just the one cover, it's got another cover over that. So I'm going to sit down on this porcelain flush toilet, and we're going to, I guess you can see that, we're going to open this right here. So I've got these 3 shelves. This right here is a really cool feature. If you take your box of Kleenex, open it up, take all the Kleenex out, you set them right there, they'll come through here, and then you just let that sit on top, and that'll keep going down as you keep running out, and that's right where you need it. So if you're gonna sneeze, you gotta blow your nose, and you're sitting on the toilet, or you're in the bathroom, or you're doing your makeup, you need to grab some towel, you got it right there. A little place to hold a towel. This is a nice little sink area, so I can put some storage up here, hot and cold water. If I need to turn my water pump on, I can do it right here. I can also turn my water heater on right here. I can also do it through my app as well on my phone. Above me here, I have adjustable shelving. And then here I have another one of those dual pane acrylic windows. And if I want some privacy in here, don't want everybody seeing me, I can do that right there. Now, under here I have more storage right here. And then if you look just to the left of that, I've got the little furnace vent. So it's going to keep you nice and warm while you're in here doing what you got to do. Now, looking at this other side, you can see my toilet paper roll and then my Jabsco macerator control. So I can, it's all push button here. I don't have to get my hands dirty. I don't have to push my foot down on something. It's all easy to control right there. And then I have this fantastic mirror here so I can see myself if I need to do that shave or whatever. You just want to do your makeup, ladies. It's very easy to do. 2 more places to hold towels or maybe your robes. I like to wear a robe. So now I'm gonna let Jody swing on. I'm gonna actually switch here. Let you swing on by, and then we're gonna open this shower area. So first thing you'll probably notice is I've got 3 places for towels. How do those towels stay dry when I'm taking my shower? Well, I've got a nice little shower curtain right here, and this wipes itself. So every time I take a shower at home, I've got that glass, I got to take the squeegee and clean it up. So it's really easy to do that. You don't have to do that with this. Now normally I would take this off if I'm taking a shower, but this gives you the capability to hang up towels, swimsuits, dry suits, whatever it is that you might need. Hang it right here. I've got it. So I'm about 6'1" with these boots on right now. Got this much space above me. Hot and cold water right here. I've got the shower on the floor because this is winterized, and it did trip some winterization fluid on me earlier. But that's a really nice oxygenator shower that gives you it actually feels like you're getting more water than you are, the way that works. And we've got a couple little spots here to put some stuff. Nice molded plastic shower right there. So before I get to my favorite part, which is the cooking, let's talk about this TV. I've got a smart TV right here with a sound bar above it. That is going to be pointed right at my theater seats. This opens up, guys. So I've got storage in here. So not here, I got, what do I got? Another power center right here. I've also got HDMI and my cable. So if you're like me, you have NVIDIA Shield Pro and you're streaming. So you can stream back to that TV back here and also to here. Very easy to access. Now, above that, I have 110 right here that's in use. I've got that HDMI portable satellite dish connection right here, and I have my Wi-Fi gateway, so I can turn that off if I want to shut down any Wi-Fi. Right here is my roof access port. So if I'm streaming and I didn't download stuff, I also use Plex server, don't ask, but if I'm streaming from Netflix or Max or whatever it is, I might be using that Starlink system. That is where you would, or our technicians could set that up. That is basically a link up to the roof, which is gonna maintain the water integrity or the watertight integrity of your coach by utilizing that. Winnebago listened to their customers. That was one of the things they wanted. So in all the rooms, we have these rocker switches right here. So you can access anything if you don't want to use the app or the Winnebago Connect system that I showed you earlier. So I can do that. But let's say I'm right here and I need to just wash my hands. I don't need to walk over there to turn the water pump on or pull my phone out, open the app, turn it on. I can just pop it right here. So what is that water going to be coming out of? Right here. And check out that beautiful sink. So Winnebago just has these really nice high polished stainless steel sinks right here. You can wash all your pots and pans in there really easily. This does pop over to like a bamboo cutting board. I probably wouldn't use it for that. I'm pretty specific on the knives and cutting boards that I use. This does pop out. It is, I guess, stuck down there, but this does pull out, and there's a spray and a flow valve, hot and cold water. Here I got more power, so I got, again, everything we talked about with the power center, two 110s, USB-A, USB-C. Huge window right here, so you can really see the beauty of where you're camping. Keep an eye on those grandkids, make sure they're not doing anything crazy like I did to my grandparents. And then we have the same system right there. This right here, same exact setup that we have in that Winnebago Echo on that Sprinter chassis. This is a full convection microwave oven, plus you have that electric coil right here, so you can grill, well, what they call, you can bake a cake, you can heat something up, bake a chicken, pizza, whatever, but it actually does give you that radiant heat that you don't get in a typical microwave. So it's a little bit better than a regular convection oven because you get that. So looking down here, you guys know I'm a big fan of induction, and so we've got this induction cooktop. It gives me the capability of setting the exact temperature that I want. So if I'm frying some eggs, I might set that at 240. Boiling water, or 280, boiling water 220. So I don't get a big boil over. I can set the exact temperature and the timer, so I can even do slow cooking on that. Right here I've got gas. So if you love to cook with gas, well, you can cook with gas. You can do it right there. And take care of all of your needs. So for storage down here, I've got a little shelf right here, my water filter, is right there. So that water is going to be going through there. And then we've got more heating vents down here. Coming over here, let me unlock this. And I've got storage here, and storage here. And you can see my remotes and my convection piece for that. Now, when I'm traveling, so these are nice soft closed drawers, I can actually lock that in and these don't open. So another nice piece that Winnebago did. Need a little extra room. I've got a little counter extension right there. And then while you're looking at that, you can see this nice handle here. Now, if you wanted an outside grab handle, I had one of my techs install one for a customer that had some limited mobility, and it came out great. So I'm really excited about that. Down here, I should have mentioned this when we came in, if you want to just pop your lights on, you can do some of the basic lights right here. And then right here is going to be my leveling system. I can do my auto leveling right there. So very simple. Let's turn around and look at this 12 volt, 10 cubic foot Norcold refrigerator freezer. So lots of storage. So this is another upgrade from what you can get in that Echo. I've got an adjustable shelf in here. And so that one I think that one is a 5.2 cubic foot. This is 10 cubic feet. If I'm right, that's almost double. So lots more storage. And then this has that special little shelving system. So right now it's in the pushed in, but if you don't have anything high in there that you need to like juice or milk or whatever, you can actually pull that out and get the full capability. 2 drawers, 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves, and then 4 shelves right here. 1 shelf right there. So very customizable. More storage above here. All my manuals are right there. Little privacy shade right here. And then let's talk a little bit more about the storage before I sit down. You'll notice I've got this where normally you would have the sleeping area. So if you did get the one with the cab over bunk, it would be up here, be obviously a lot bigger. But here you have this massive amount of storage right here as well. So pretty neat system. Right above this, you're gonna see that extra fan right here. And you can turn that on with the app. I've got a little storage area here, storage area on both sides on the left. And then I have 2 posts. I have, well, actually 1 post and I have a table. I'm not gonna set that up right now, but the table's right behind here. If I'm sitting here with my wife, we can be eating dinner, watching some streaming TV, and or just playing cards or whatnot. Or I can have one set up here. These both turn around, so that can be part of it. So if I've got some friends over, they can be sitting here. These are very comfortable, very adjustable, reclining and all that. Heated still when they're turned around. And then these right here can be set up. So I've got 4 seat belted positions in here, and these are super comfortable. The button's hidden. Took me about too long to find this, and when I first saw this come into our lot. So this is very comfortable. I've got great lumbar support right here. It's really getting perfectly on my neck. If I want to push this up, this will actually adjust. So you can see this adjust up pretty significantly, and then you just push it back. So really nice system. I love these. These are some of the most, I've been in some expensive high-end diesel pushers. These are some of the most comfortable theater seats I have sat in. So really impressed with that. So let's come on to the front. I think we're just about done with our journey, and I want to thank you so much for joining me. What I'm sitting on here is going to be one of the upgrades on this. So this has the Primera ultra leather upgrade double stitching right there, really nice. And if you look at this, this has an adjustment. So for tall folk, this will just go on out. But if you're a little shorter, you might put it in a middle position, or if you're really short, you can put it in there. These are all like very easy to adjust. This is an easier way to show you. So I can adjust that this way, turn my heat on, and then I can also tilt the chair in, tilt it down, or tilt it up. So you can see that, push it back, push it forward. So very, very customizable. Even the headrests come up nicely. And then we also have this feature to where they can move this way. So man, Mercedes Sprinter has got so many amazing things. They have the adaptive cruise control. They have the collision mitigation system that will apply up to full braking power if necessary to help keep you out of an accident. They also have the parking monitor so you can see around you, see where you're going. It also looks for kids and stuff. It has crosswind assist, and what that means is if you are driving 50 miles an hour or more, or maybe it's kilometers, it's Mercedes, I don't know, one of those. If you're driving fast enough and you're getting hit with winds, it will actually apply brakes on the appropriate wheels to make sure that you are safe. Has electronic stability control. With that, it's not just normal electronic stability control, it's got a load sensor, so it knows how you're loaded. So based on that, it will apply the brakes and do what it needs to do to keep you safe in driving forward in the right manner. So Sirius XM capable. Let's actually start up here. Most of these don't have this capability. This is a always on, well, you can turn it off, but it's always on for the most part, rear view camera. So it's not just a mirror, it's a camera. So I can always see that when I'm driving down the road. And if I got somebody tailgate me, or I just want to see what's how my tow vehicle's doing or whatnot, I've got that. Now, right above this, I looked it up, so now I know. Man, when I open I have a Mercedes, so when I open this, sometimes I hit that and that opens up. But you get 12 months from the research that I did. My understanding is you get 12 months of free service on this SOS system. So if your airbags deploy and you've got a bunch of airbags, you got this, these airbags here, you have the airbags in the front, you have the thoracic airbags and the side airbags. So if they deploy, it's going to automatically alert. But if you have an emergency or something happens, or say you see a bad car accident in front of you, you can hit that and get the appropriate services engaged. Nice lighting system up here. I've also got reading system. I have a service button too, so if you are registered with that, that'll be with that. Storage up here for whatever you need. Big old covers down here, and then if you look up down here, I've got storage here, here, and over there. So I can put, in Colorado, you can always have your gloves with your winter gloves with you, so you can keep them right there. So I can have mine there, my wife's there. And then right here, this is gonna have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So 2 USB chargers right here. This is charging station, then also have a 12-volt system right there for charging as well. This system is also over there. Storage down here, storage here. Down here, I always forget this part, I got 12 volt down here, I've got a USB-C, but then I also have an inverter. So if you're sitting there and in the passenger seat and you have that laptop going, you're catching up on your emails, you can actually just plug that right in there and you're good to go. So we're gonna finish this a little bit by just talking about, I have a tilt steering right here. All of these controls that I'm going to show you over here, I can access on this side. And then on this side right here, I can access these. So I can go to home. This is going to show my mileage or my miles. That's where I keep my Mercedes in, so I can see that easier. But you can go up here. You can see from reset, from start, what your fuel economy is, how good you're driving the system, what your current consumption is. And one of the questions I get is, what is your fuel economy on this? I probably would say 13 to 16 miles per gallon is kind of the average. People who are driving it lead-footed up the hill in the mountains might be at that lower area. And I have seen some people get above that who just drive nice and slow. And that's what we should be doing, right? So here, let's get off that Sirius XM screen, just like look at some of these safety features before we check out of here. So I got the ESP quick access panel. I can turn on traffic sign assist, active lane keeping assist, which I can have it give me a warning or not. Active brake assist, I can set that to early, medium, or late. In a snowy or rainy, icy condition, you probably want that early. If you're just normal driving, late is fine. And then attention assist. If you're texting and driving, don't drive, right? Just text later. But if you're getting sleepy, you're trying to push it past that 8-10 hour point, you might want to have this on, and it will suggest a rest area if it realizes you're just not paying the attention that you need. Tell you to go get a cup of coffee. You can have your automatic door locks on, gas station search. I'm not a fan of that one, but I'll leave it on for you. And then exterior lighting delay, you can set that. So you got a lot of options right here that you can set. You can also set the work through this right here. So I can actually set my navigation radio, all of that right here. What's really cool is that I can either tell Mercedes I want to tell it something. Let's say I want to say, Mercedes, I'm cold, and it will actually pop up the heat a little bit. Now, if it doesn't understand your voice, you can actually push that little button right there, and then it'll come up. So it hasn't been set up because we'll set that up for you. I can engage my phone calls right here and set my cruise right here. And instead of going through that, I can actually set my distance on the active cruise control. So thank you so much for joining me. This again is a 2025 Winnebago Navion 24R. We are at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name is Chris Capper. My phone number is 813-333-2988. Please give me a call. Let me and my award-winning service techs take great care of you, get you camping. You've been thinking about it so long, let's get you camping. So take care, happy camping.